Due to extreme weather, 6 dead, 1 missing.
Floods affect 8 districts, 7,880 families displaced.
Landslide warning issued for 9 districts extended.
A new joint opposition launched by former Minister Mervyn Silva. Welcome to our primetime news. I'm Sandaru Ferdinando.
And I'm Jitendra Gunasena. Let's now take a look at the stories in detail.
President Maithripala Sirisena emphasizes that economic development is a basis upon which strong democracy and lasting peace can be built.
President Sirisena made this statement when he met the head of the Western German business delegation to Sri Lanka and the Parliamentary State Secretary for Economic Affairs and Energy Uwe Beckmeyer today. The German business delegation is in Sri Lanka to explore business and investment opportunities in the country. The visit comes as per the directive of German Chancellor Angela Merkel as a result of President Maithripala Sirisena's visit to Germany. During the meeting today, President Sirisena explained to the German delegation how Sri Lanka is making steady progress in strengthening democracy and reconciliation through appointing new independent commissions and strengthening existing commissions. The President's media division says the President assured that he will instruct the ministers and officers to review the progress of business development between Sri Lanka and Germany and report to him every 3 months.
The incessant rain over the past 2 days has claimed 6 lives, while a woman has been reported missing. Maina Bonso joins us from the Newsfirst Weather Centre with the latest situation report on the extreme weather conditions.
Thank you, Sandaru. Well, yes, the rains that commenced yesterday has not receded in several parts of the island even until this evening, and a flooding alert has been announced, landslide warnings. So the people are being asked to stay vigilant about their natural environment during this heavy showers that are being experienced in the island. Now, the Department of Meteorology says that the rains, which have persisted for 2 days, is expected to gradually recede in certain parts of the island by today or tomorrow. However, it adds that the rains accompanied by strong winds could be experienced for a few more days.
The highest rainfall as of 8:30 this morning was recorded from Katunayaka with 260.2 millimeters. Colombo received a rainfall of 232.4 millimeters, Ratmalana 170.8 millimeters, while Ratnapura received a rainfall of 131.1 millimeters. 6 deaths have been reported so far across the island owing to the heavy rains. An infant drowned in Avrakoto area in Vattala. According to reports, the 10-month-old infant was asleep when he had fallen off his bed, which was supported by cement blocks, and drowned in the rainwater which had inundated the house.
When I asked if the house was flooded, they said no. Then again at 4 in the morning, I got a call saying that the child had fallen into the water.
Meanwhile, the bodies of 2 persons who were killed in a landslide in the Dehiovita area were found today. Police said that search operations are still underway to locate the body of another woman.
We have dispatched all the armed forces for this purpose. You all are aware that a landslide has occurred in Dehiovita. A 2-kilometer area is covered with a 50-foot layer of soil, but none of the houses were affected. A principal, his child and another individual has gone missing. We have found 2 of them so far, and search operations are underway to find the other individual. We have also taken measures to provide food for the locals in the area. Moreover, the Navy has provided boats to areas in Colombo like Kolonnava and Rajagiriya. Moreover, officials of the Colombo Urban Council, Urban Development Authority and the Land Reclamation and Development Corporation, who are experts in the field, have been kept on alert since yesterday.
A boat capsized in the Negombo Seas this morning owing to the bad weather. The 2 fishermen aboard the capsized fishing vessel were rescued by the Sri Lanka Air Force. Air Force media spokesperson Wing Commander Chandimudi Alvis said that the two rescued fishermen were taken to the Kadunayaka Air Force base, after which they were handed over to their relatives. One person was killed in Ratnapura when an earth embankment collapsed onto a house in the Madagammana village in Ahliagoda. The victim was a 44-year-old father of one. Locals in the area said that only the victim was inside the house when the incident occurred last night. The heavy downpours also severely affected the House of Legislation. The access road for public representatives to enter the Parliament complex appear to have merged with the Devana Oya.
Last evening there was a water level of 1.3 meters above sea level. If this reading rises to 1.8 meters, the parliamentary complex will flood. Sandbags are being placed around it, and we strongly believe that we will be able to control the water level.
The central fish market complex in Palyagoda also transformed into a lake. Fish which were caught to be sold at the market complex were seen floating in the floodwaters.
Now, in spite of the heavy showers and the strong winds that were experienced over the past 2 days, vehicular movement in Colombo and its surrounding areas were mostly normal.
While several parts of the Colombo Fort, Kolpiti and Maradan areas were inundated, the effect on the flow of traffic was minimal. Several locations including Polga Sovita along the 120 bus route from Colombo to Horana were inundated. Lesturanagalamavati in Borella resembled a lake today.
මේ බෝක්කු ඇල බෝක්කු ඔක්කොම සුද්ධ කරලා ඔය හොඳට ආණ්ඩුවෙන් පෞගේ කාලේ මේ ඔක්කොම සුද්ධ කරලා තිබ්බේ ඔක්කොම අද නැවතිලා තියෙන නිසා තමයි මේ වතුර දාන්න හේතුව.
Even the bottom floors of luxury apartment complexes in Rajagiri were flooded. Trees were uprooted in several parts of Colombo, but were quickly cleared by police with the assistance of area residents.
However, day-to-day life in the line houses located in Colombo that are usually densely populated came to an absolute standstill today.
Poranakotua in Palyagoda consists of about 200 small homes. The residents of Poranakotua, who are deprived of healthy and independent lives in normal weather conditions, are facing a truly hopeless future.
During our visit here today, we were able to speak to a number of locals in the area who made several complaints, citing that the water levels that you see here that are just above my knees are increasing at night, and they are not able to send their children to school and not able to carry out their day-to-day activities. Just a bit further down the village here, the water levels increase to up to an average heighted man's chest levels. So you can only imagine the conditions and the difficulties these local area residents go through.
When Newsfirst visited Poranakotua to inquire into the situation faced by the people there, we were inundated with tales of woe. Although the rains may have washed away most of their belongings, their humanity has braved the storm, enabling them to share what little they have with their neighbors. The people here continue to wonder when the authorities will turn their eyes towards places like Poranakotua.
අපේ ගෙවල් 165ක්
There are 165 houses in this area. All the houses are inundated. No one has come for our rescue.
කිසිම කෙනෙක් ආවේ නැහැ අපිව බලන්නව. සපත්තු
Our school shoes are damp. We cannot even iron our uniforms.
අතුර
ඇත්තම කියනවා නම් මම
I've never stayed for this long without attending school. It is the first time owing to the floods that I'm unable to go to school. All my books are destroyed. I don't like to stay at home. Please help us.
අද මේ අනේ අපිට පුළුවන් නම් මේ පිළියමක් හදලා දෙන්න අපිට ගම් වතුර නිසා ඉස්කෝලේ යන්න බැටිකමක් තියෙනවා.
Now, flooding was reported from 8 districts of the country as a result of the incessant rains affecting 7,880 families. The Disaster Management Centre said that 12,000 people have been relocated to safer areas.
Nearly 1,000 houses in Wattala have been affected as a result of the Hamilton Canal overflowing. A number of roads too were inundated. Locals prevented a van transporting a group of foreign tourists from being washed away by strong water currents near the Bigambala junction on the Colombo-Kurunegala main road. Around 40 houses in the Nala, Miragama and Gampa areas were inundated as a result of the heavy rains. Nearly 60 houses in the Diuladenia and Diulapiti areas were inundated as a result of the Ma oil and Kuda oil overflowing. Vehicular movement on the Ahaliagoda-Dehiyovita road was disrupted in the Madagamana area after high-tension power line fell across the road. Our cameras captured footage of a vehicle parked near a road in Yakavangua area in Ahaliagoda sunk in with the road. The threat of landslides have emerged in the Wattegama, Nawela Thanna, Bahiravakanda and Hantana areas in the Kandy district. Traffic was disrupted on the Kandy-Askira road after an earth embankment fell across the road. It is also reported that an earth embankment had collapsed onto a house located on Hospital Road in Hantana. Kannantota, Dehiyovita, Aguruvella and Kotiyakumbura areas were inundated due to the heavy showers. Meanwhile, several areas in the northern province too were flooded. Low-lying areas in the Mana and Musali areas were inundated. Floods in the Kilinochi district hampered the day-to-day activities of many of the area residents. The Murukandi and Sellapuram areas in the Kilinochi district were also underwater today. Meanwhile, several low-lying areas in the Mulathiu district, including Mulaivaikal, Bandaravani and the Ottu Chuttan areas, were inundated as a result of the incessant rains.
PB Abekun, the Secretary to the President, chaired an emergency meeting at the Presidential Secretary today on providing relief to people affected by disaster situations brought on by the extreme weather. The Deputy Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Koripili, joins us with a review on the prevailing disaster situation.
The highest number of disasters were recorded in the Colombo district, especially in Kolonava. Around 11,660 persons were affected. 7 houses were damaged completely and 111 houses were partially damaged. 5,196 individuals are residing in secure locations, and so far 32 secure locations have been established. The tri-forces have been dispatched to provide these locals with any required equipment, including boats, throughout the day. The 117 emergency hotline will always be open to contact the Disaster Management Centre and its units. We have established all the disaster management centres for all districts to do the needful. District secretaries, divisional secretaries and Gram and Nildaris and every other official will get together to carry out this social welfare program continuously.
The National Building Research Organisation says the landslide warning issued for 9 districts are still in effect.
Because of the last few days heavy rainfall, NBRO has declared landslide early warning to 9 districts, especially for Badulla, Nuwara, Matale, Kandy, Ratnapura, Kegol, Halutara and Monragala. And same time, because of the yesterday's heavy rainfall, I think we have already identified more than 50 to 70 locations that have already occurred landslides. Actually, most of these landslides are not natural ones because of the man-made activities. Most of these things happen. Only 1 or 2 natural landslides occurred. From 2 p.m. on today, NBRO again declared another landslide early warning to the districts of Badulla, Nuwara, Kandy, Matale, Kegol, Ratnapura, Halutara and Monragala for next 24 hours.
While vehicular movement was mostly normal on major roads, congestion was reported on the expressway.
Due to the rising water levels of the Kalana River, the 2 sides of the Biagamar highway is inundated, so we were compelled to close the entrances and exits of the highway to the Biagamar road. Vehicles travelling from Kadawatha can exit the highway from the Athurugiriya exit. Vehicles travelling from Mathura will have to exit from the lowland road in Kaduwela. Vehicles travelling from the Kaduwela junction will have to enter the Mathura main route via the lowland road in Kaduwela. This is closed temporarily. When the water level of the Biagamar road decline, we will be able to reopen the roads and not obstruct the vehicle movement.
The extreme weather conditions has also affected air travel. HS Etiarachi, manager of the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayaka, informed us on the information on future flight operations.
Here at Bandaranaike International Airport and Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport, our operations were not affected due to weather, except for 3 diversions we had in the last evening and 2 diversions early today. 2 flights were diverted to Cochin Airport in India and 1 to Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport. The 2 flights which were diverted to Cochin Airport were brought back when the weather became favourable at BIA. Flights which were diverted to Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport, the passengers were facilitated to disembark at that airport. As at now, there is no effect at all for our operations at BIAO Mattala. All flight arrivals and departures are taking place as scheduled.
Now, how does the weather forecast look for the next 24 hours? The Met Department says that the tropical low-pressure system currently directly above the island is slowly moving northwards and away from Sri Lanka towards India. The department says that this will reduce the rainy conditions over the island, but warns that strong windy conditions will continue for a few days more. Now, News First will bring you the latest details on the weather situation in Sri Lanka and also emphasizing the need to remain vigilant and take necessary precautions to avert any accidents that could happen during this extreme weather situation. We go in for a short commercial break and we'll head on to the main news desk after that.
Developing Story, brought to you by Royal Institute of Colombo, excellence in higher education.
Welcome back to the news. Former Minister Mervyn Silva convened a media briefing today. Let's take a look at what transpired there.
एक एकाबद्ध विपक्षी नेवे सहोदरया ඒ අයට අපි දාමු නමක් UP උණ්ඩක පුච්ච පක්ෂය.
They are not the joint opposition. I am commencing work as the organizer of the joint opposition represented by the group gathered here today. Lots more will join in the future. This is our hope. We will call for all the corrupt persons and murderers to be arrested immediately and punished. We will call on the government to fulfill the promises it made to the people and to resolve the current burning issues facing the people. This is our intention. I am saddened by the current situation. How can they form a joint opposition while being MPs from the United People's Freedom Alliance?
The minister also said that he was responsible for the victory of the UNP in the Kalani electorate.
It was Basil Rajapaksa that caused a problem in Kalania. He earned limitless sums of money. He forcefully took over property belonging to other people. I have mentioned all of this. Since we wish to take this government forward, many of us took our flea-ridden seats in the theatre. Even while the fleas bit us, we strained in our seats and withstood it, wondering when it would end. Many of us remained there, just like people sitting in flea-ridden seats. When I started speaking out, a foreigner was sent to a club via Gotabaya Rajapaksa and trouble was caused with my son. My son was imprisoned. Just like the closure of the Marbil Aro Anicut, this victory commenced with Ratana Thera's declaration and the crossover of ministers Champik Ranavaka, Rajita Senaratna and Gunawardhana. I wished to go too, but my son's life was endangered and I could not go. I am aware of all of this. I was on that side, so I took the UNP onto the path to victory in Kalania. Could I remain there while Gotabaya Rajapaksa harassed my son? 2 people in my electorate in Kalania were abducted in white vans. Donald and 3 others. I believe it was my people in my electorate in Kalania were I believe it was on the instructions of Gotabaya and they will testify now. The police themselves told me that when my son was attacked at Odell, that the vehicle was from the president's house and that it was led by the former soldier known as Tissa. I asked them to give statements. They attempted to abduct my son and murder him. The government erased all of the CCTV footage. If Army Sampath, who was captured yesterday, was captured back then, they would have announced that he was shot while attempting to flee en route to a hidden weapons cache. This does not happen today. Cases are ongoing and the police are holding inquiries. It goes to the courts and some things are happening democratically.
I
went to Mathura for the opening of the Mahanama Bridge and was taken there by Mahinda. On the way, he told to slander Minister Mangala. On the way, the matter of Rupavahini was discussed and he asked me to go there and inquire into it. When I went there, they said he's coming and attacked me. They resolved the matter with me respectably. There was an incident in Kalania. I did not cause any damages to the Sirosa organization. There was a case at the Supreme Court and I had to pay 600 or 700,000 rupees. I paid it. It was an unidentified group. Considering the way in which it was attacked, I have my suspicions regarding the former government. Many things happened in the former government according to the whim of the Defence Secretary. So I point the finger at him because I suspect whether this happened on his orders and his approval. There is such talk in society. It is in the media. I am not the one saying it. I am not the one saying it. If we cannot talk straight, then it is pointless to hold these things.
Views were also expressed on former Minister Basil Rajapaksa.
Basil Rajapaksa left Sri Lanka once before and lived in America. He was in Los Angeles working in stores, loading and unloading goods. This time too, when his brother was defeated, he fled there with his wife carrying a bag of trousers. He is shamelessly coming here now and saying that he came to save the country. Do you know how Gamman Pilla made money? This file contains all information on the theft and fraud carried out by Gamman Pilla.
හොරකම් වංචනික දේවල් පිළිබඳව මේ සියලු විස්තර මේක තියෙන්නේ. තව ෆයිල් තියෙනවා. මේ රජය
It will be good if a photograph of Ranil Wickramasinghe, who was instrumental in forming this government, is hung at the SLP headquarters.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂ මූලස්ථානයේ තියෙනවා නම් ඉතා වැදගත් කි.
Preparations have been made to hold the National Victory Day commemorations under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena at the War Heroes Memorial located in close proximity to Parliament on Wednesday.
Details about the Victory Day commemoration were revealed at a media briefing convened at the Government Information Department this morning.
Proceedings will commence at 4 p.m. near the War Heroes Memorial located close to Parliament. The families of war heroes, who will be coordinated by the Ranavira Seva Authority together with His Excellency the President and Honourable Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, will participate in the ceremony. We expect around 5,000 families of war heroes to attend the event.
Will politicians be invited for the ceremony?
Yes, the Cabinet of Ministers will be invited. The ceremony is to be held on Wednesday. Since it is a working day, we will not be inviting many politicians from far-off provinces. But we will invite parliamentarians and politicians at least from the Western Province for the event.
Has the former president been invited?
No, the former president has not been invited. There is no reason. The ceremony will be held with the participation of those in the current government.
Mr. Secretary, it has been reported that preparations are underway to commemorate LTTE leaders in the north. If such a commemoration does take place, what will be the action taken by the government?
I do not see a commemoration for the LTTE organization, but a commemoration for those who have died. That is normal, since everyone has the right to commemorate someone irrespective of the rank of the person who has died. We cannot intervene in such a situation. I said with authority that events commemorating the terrorist activities of the LTTE organization will not be legally permitted. I believe it is only a matter of people's perception.
Mr. Secretary, reports have also surfaced that a commemoration for war heroes has been organized in Kurunagala under the auspices of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Will members of the Defence Force be permitted to attend the event?
Even I received information that Mahinda Rajapaksa is organizing an event. However, members of the Defence Force cannot officially participate in such an event without permission. Necessary permission must be obtained from the relevant military commanders. Yes, I have been informed. We have taken a policy decision for the police department to provide security for state VIPs. The police department consists of special divisions such as the Presidential Security Division, the Ministerial Security Division and the STF. Personnel from these divisions will provide security. It is wrong to obtain the services of the army in this context.
Journalists also questioned the Defence Secretary on the removal of army protection provided to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Initially, we removed 50 personnel. 103 army personnel were provided to him. The remaining 53 personnel will also be removed, perhaps today I think. Deployment of police officers for security duty is being coordinated by the Ministerial Security Division. The Army Commander has been tasked with this matter. I am yet to look into its progress.
The sixth model village being constructed under the Gammudava National Housing Project was declared open today in Eravur Pattu Batiklo under the auspices of Minister of Housing and Construction Sajid Premadasa.
This village, named Kamachi Model Village, consists of 25 houses and was constructed in the Rawatpattu Divisional Secretariat. The model village was built at a cost of 7.5 million rupees and is equipped with basic facilities such as water and electricity. A group called the Joint Opposition is working hard to hamper all the actions of the government. I have a message for the Joint Opposition. Our government will strive ahead to build this country regardless of the obstacles that may come our way. Our government will definitely continue for the next 5 to 6 years, and we will be dedicated to work for the betterment of the common man. No group will ever be able to topple our government. They have a very rare project, that is to establish a new economic research unit. They have launched this economic research unit and they say they are now reviewing the economic policies of our government. I would like to tell them that the first duty of the economic research unit should be to investigate the manner in which the economy was crumbled during their government's rule. They need to investigate how commissions amounting to billions of dollars were solicited when investors came into this country. I propose that this investigative report be concluded immediately and published for the country to see.
And with that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Sandru Ferdinando.
And I'm Jitendra Gunasena. Good night and take care.